Muchachos muy buenas. Lo que están a punto de ver es uno de los orgullos más grandes de mi corazón de pollo y de la corta carrera que llevo del Contexto. Tuve la oportunidad de entrevistar a uno de esos héroes con los que uno crece en la universidad, donde termina aprendiendo a escuchar mejor música, y por haber sido de la universidad es uno de esos que se queda para siempre. Y además pues, tuve la oportunidad de entrevistarlo como un adulto, con un poco menos de neuronas, pero quizá con un poco más de sabiduría. Entonces eso estuvo muy bonito. Nick Mulvey. La primera vez que escuché a Nick fue por una novia que tenía en ese momento. Había escuchado una canción que se llama Cucurucú, que hoy en día es de mis canciones fundantes, de esas que por más que pase el tiempo no se va, y que por mucho tiempo y durante la carrera y en los viajes que iba a la playa, pues la escuchaba. Inevitablemente crecí, corté con esa novia y empecé a trabajar, pero Cucurucú se quedó conmigo para siempre. Y hace unos meses estaba haciendo mi segundo camino de Santiago. En ese camino lo volví a escuchar. Empecé a poner un rolón que se los recomiendo, que se llama In Your Hands. Y como todo buen artista, me recordó por qué había conectado tanto con él. Vaya, lo importante que había sido en mi camino de encontrarme, de saber qué onda con la vida, y pues se quedó. Un día estaba llegando a echarme unas cheves con unos amigos y un cuate que quiero mucho me mandó un mensaje que sí conocía a Nick Mulvey. Y es de esas preguntas que se responde con gestos y no con palabras. Y le dije que sí, que yo para ese entonces no había entrevistado todavía a nadie, todavía no tenía el privilegio ni la oportunidad, pero era algo que quería hacer con el Contexto y que quería probar que podía honrar y desarrollar preguntas que hablaran a ese centro y esa parte pues cercana de cada quien. Entonces pues bueno, me dijo que había una posibilidad de entrevistarlo, pasaron los meses y eventualmente cuando se anunció que Nick Mulvey iba a venir por segunda vez, la persona que lo trajo y que además se ha vuelto un gran amigo mío, me dijo que la entrevista se había confirmado. Para ese momento ya estaba toda la fiesta del Contexto, ya había entrevistado a La Roca, a Benny Sabdi, a María José Cuevas, que dirigió el documental de Juan Gabriel, a Daniel Jiménez Cacho. Entonces ya tenía un poco más de callo y sabía muy bien que quería preguntarle a Nick, pero tenía esa curiosidad de qué iba a pasar cuando conociera a uno de esos héroes que había tenido por tanto tiempo. Lo que están a punto de ver es más una conversación que una pregunta y respuesta de alguien que admiro muchísimo, sobre su vida, sobre su trabajo, y le pregunté de todo un poco, de lo que sabía como fan, de las cosas que me fui enterando de nuevo ahorita que reconecté con él, de un sueño que tuvo con David Bowie mientras vivía en Mazunte, y sobre todo de su nuevo disco doble Dark Harvest Part 1 y Part 2, donde conecté tal cual de nuevo con ese centro que me gustaba tanto de él. El título de este disco alude a esa cosecha que generamos después de un periodo de dolor, de pasarla mal, y de cómo inevitablemente cuando pasamos todo eso salimos con una rica cosecha que nos dará la vida bajo un sol que nunca morirá. Conecta mucho conmigo, conecta con las cosas que aprendí cuando mi papá falleció. Entonces hubo un conecte muy bonito con este carnal. Para mí Nick es un músico que se reinventa sin dejar de ser él. Es un artista que convierte sus procesos personales en canciones que se quedan contigo, y que por más que él cambie como persona, que él cambie como estilo, el core que él tiene como un ser humano siempre me va a llamar. Y de veras, gracias a Eduardo, a su equipo, a Yves, a los Magicians y a Nick Mulvey por hacer esto posible. Espero la disfruten muchísimo, y bueno, ya me cayó con este contexto personal, pero es para que disfruten mucho esta entrevista. Un abrazo y un saludo. Los quiero, bye. Hello everyone, I'm Javier Sainz from El Contexto. I'm here with Nick Mulvey. Nick, thank you so much for your time. You're recently launching 2 albums, Dark Harvest Part 1, Dark Harvest Part 2.
Yes.
I want to say I'm a big fan since your first album, since First Mind. First of all, how does it feel to be back in Mexico?
Really good, Javier. Really good.
Thank you
for having me on the show. And I love Mexico, you know, and every time I come back, I remember why, you know.
Yeah.
The people, the culture, it feels good.
And thank you for coming back. We are such fans of you. So I'm going to ask you the first question. I believe that in First Mind you said, feeling first, thinking second.
Yes.
Do you still create from that place of instinct? Or has experience changed the way you listen to your own intuition?
I think, yes, I still will primarily follow my feelings in the creative process. So I'm always, like looking for combinations of sounds or words that feel good first.
Yeah.
But there is always an intellectual part to the process, you know. But later on, I hope later on.
I understand that you, with your hands, the right hand is the intellect, right? So
Yes. No. The right hand is the instinct.
the instinct, yeah.
The left hand is the intellect. Yeah.
I think in your songs you have this combination of intellect and instinct that you make these patterns that no one can make. I don't know if in this particular album you found something different to that style, or did you reconnect with something that beyond you that connected these two things that we're talking, instinct and intellect?
Yeah, I think in my creative process, when the instinct and the intellect can flow together, then it's always it's kind of coming from beyond me. You might say, you know,
Yeah.
I'd like to open to the Holy Spirit, really.
Yeah, this moment of surrender, right?
Yes.
So,
But it's also lots of hard work and revision, and you know, kind of, it's not all just like the flow. You know, there's lots of struggle as well.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's an excellent segue for my next question. That is, what does surrender look like to you now as a father, an independent artist, and a man who's lived through both loss and renewal?
Good question. Surrender can look like many things, you know. Right now it's about really becoming aware of my desires and plans and ambitions, and really giving them away, giving them to God, asking God to take them from me, because His plans are better, His ambitions are better. So yeah, sometimes, you know, I'm holding on to these ambitions and plans,
Yeah,
but my prayer is really clear, you know, and he hears me.
I remember you have a song about Cali, about
All right.
take away my pain, take away my frustrations.
Ramdas.
Yeah. I think that connects perfectly. And in this way, I believe that sometimes through pain we cannot explain through words, but we can explain through mythology, through, I don't know, maybe myths, stories of old. And in Dark Harvest Part 1 and Part 2, you use Persephone in,
That's right, yeah.
in one of the words, the underworld, east of Eden. I wanted to know if this was something that you wanted to chase, or is this a process that came while you were developing the album?
So was this, the inclusion of the myth was something that I wanted to pursue, or it was something that...
Like, I don't know if the myth was the thing that facilitated the feeling that you were having while you were doing this dark harvest of a period.
So the inclusion of this myth in Dark Harvest was an unexpected presence in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I collaborated with the song Dark Harvest with a very trusted female friend of mine. And this was a really profound experience to write a song with my friend, and she was able to give me a very valuable perspective as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to say, listen, as a woman, what I want to hear from the man next is, and so it was a very valuable creative process to write this song with her. And actually it was her suggestion or her impulse to bring in this the presence of Persephone and the implication of Hades. Hades is not named, but you know, we talk about the going into the underworld and the pomegranate seed. So for me, I was just in the artistic process. I was just loving these materials. Yeah.
There's a quote of Nick Cave that says that women are 3D and men are two-dimensional. So I believe that when you open yourself to have a collaboration, you also open yourself to be better and not just see things through one lens, right?
It definitely taught me a lot, yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the next question. That is, having lived in places like Oaxaca and giving classes there, and do you have any Mexican rhythm sounds or landscapes that have entered in your creative process?
You know, when I was in Oaxaca, I went to the coast, and I was on a small beach called Mazunte.
Yeah. Amazing place.
You know this beach?
Yeah, of course.
Beautiful, with the huge waves, and I was on the beach, and one of my most special guitar patterns came to me on this beach.
Which one?
Now, I don't know if it was influenced by, it's not a direct influence from Mexican culture, like in terms of the music, but from the land and from the energy of that place. It's a pattern that runs through the center of a song called "Dancing for the Answers."
Dun, 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 dun,
this one, yeah, and I used it a second time in a piece called "La Punta Cometa."
Yeah.
Right, because this is the comet's point. It's from Mazunte.
Yeah.
It's where you go and you watch the sunset into the ocean, and so those two songs are basically the same material.
Yeah.
In a different title, and this came in Mexico. Yeah.
I think it's a rhythm that, for me at least, evokes longing and like a kind of a prayer, like a mantra that you're constantly using. But yeah, I remember it was in Wake Up Now in the
right.
second. Yeah.
In the EP.
In the EP, right, the blue one.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Billy Bragg once said to you, songs can change the world, but people can. What do you think music can do today in an age of noise, distraction, and crisis? And do you think that balance ever appears?
Do I feel that balance ever appears?
Yeah. I mean, do you think songs today can make a change in the world, or is it about people that are touched by these songs?
Sure, yeah. I think ideas change the world. I think ideas have the power to change the world, and music is the best vehicle for ideas. So absolutely, music has more power than ever to change, to play a role. I think we have so much media, we have so much
Content.
music, content. So this is an interesting aspect. But I think my songs, I trust are finding the right people, the right ears.
Yeah.
So it's not always a question of mass, but it can be a question of depth. And I believe music can change people deeply. Yeah.
It makes you wonder that when you create this music, you have to take the best people, the best producers to manage these ideas. And I think you have an excellent taste in producers. We were talking just now about that your third album was produced by the guy that did Clandestino, by Manu Chao.
That's right, Renaud Latang.
So when you had this experience of wanting to make Dark Harvest, what was the idea that you were thinking, and what was that connection with the producers you wanted to do this? Because you invited different artists to collaborate and have this experience, a very intimate experience of renewal with your producers. What's the purpose or the objective that you wanted to chase with these ones?
So, in the beginning, a couple of years ago, my idea was to try a few different collaborators to see, but this is dangerous because then every collaboration I try creates something good, something interesting. Everyone I worked with was really good. So I met the Parisi brothers, and they just finished working with Fred again on his album, and I loved what they brought to my music, more of a electronic sensibility to my more acoustic music. And then I met Jimmy Hogarth, and I felt for the totality of an album project, Jimmy was going to be the right partner to really support me to realize the vision. Because he has so much experience, and I could feel that experience in all of his suggestions around all of the recording process. And another thing with Jimmy is that he's a deeply good man. So are all the other people I work with, but this album is very vulnerable. It's super vulnerable. And I was processing, coming out of very fresh from a very challenging time in my life. So I was very raw. And when I met Jimmy, I felt his kindness. I felt his experience in life. And I felt, as well as the music, on top of the music, these more personal qualities was something that was valuable to me in this process, because I needed that support through the vulnerability of the process. And
I feel that he honors that. The songs that you made with every open heart, that opening is truly something that I think we haven't heard from you. Like, it sounds like you're opening yourself, and I know that Dark Harvest Part 1 is the darkness, maybe, and maybe the other half is
the harvest.
Yeah, the harvest.
The dark and the harvest.
So, taking again in every open heart, you quote the ancient Vedic mantra.
Yes.
Lead me from the unreal to the real, from the darkness to the light, from death to immortality, in this spiritual harvest. We surrender that moment from control to acceptance, the invisible thread that runs through your music. I believe that you surrender yourself. You give yourself to the process.
Yeah, you hear it. It's true, and it's my joy to do so. It can be frightening at first, but I really surrender myself in this song, and I actually had some of the materials for many years.
Yeah,
I had the chords, I had the melodies, and I had the presence of the mantra from a long time ago. And then I met Jimmy, and very quickly it was the first song we worked on actually together, Every Open Heart. And he gave me the confidence to really trust this song and open myself to it.
I believe that this album, these two double LP that you have, is not only the result of a process that you've been through life, because when someone asks me what Nick Mulvey is, I believe that patterns is one of the words for me that it's key. Yes, sir. So I know Brian Eno told you, play me the patterns, play. And then we go to First Mind, then we go to Wake Up Now, then we go to New Mythology, then we go to these new albums. These patterns today are more visible than ever, and I think that this is not a question, but it's more of an assurance to you. I believe that you're being truly remarkable in this album when you expose yourself in this thing.
Thank you.
No, yeah.
Thank you, man.
I mean, I'm speaking as a fan, but trust me, this is good. And I was wondering, I heard that one time you had a dream about David Bowie.
It's true.
And that he told you something how to, I don't know, put a song into. Do you have any other artist that you've ever dreamed, or another famous person that told you about how to reach one song or to resolve anything in particular?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. The David Bowie dream also connects to the La Punta Cometa and because in the dream I had this pattern from Mazunte. I was showing it to David Bowie, and the rest is the story from that dream. But yeah, like in answer to your question, I had a powerful experience in I think it was 2017 I released Wake Up Now.
Yeah, 2017.
And the process of releasing this album was not easy for me. I had a lot of expectations, and I didn't feel kind of successful as I launched this album. I felt like a lot of pressure, and I felt, in a way, I felt it was a failure. I was going through an experience of failure, whatever. It was a process. And I was on tour in America. And this is the story of how I met Burt Bacharach and how he helped me. You know Burt Bacharach?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was touring in America. We started on the East Coast, and then we were working across the continent to the West Coast. I was traveling in my band was a dear friend of mine called Federico, and Federico is a man of faith, and he's Catholic. And it was December, and there is a process in the Catholic calendar in December called La Novena, the 9 nights.
Yeah.
And Federico and I were sharing the hotel rooms. You know, we'd cut the costs to keep the costs down. We would share the hotel rooms. So every night he was praying the novena, and I was just falling asleep. You know, but he would pray the novena, he would pray, and then I was struggling with these issues around my sense of failure with Wake Up Now, and my friend Federico, he said, listen. He encouraged me. He was like, why don't you pray the novena with me every night? You can pray whatever you want to pray, and you can give it to God. So I joined him 9 nights, and I prayed to be released from the need for external validation. Big prayer.
No, yeah.
But I was very clear. And on the 10th morning, no joke, on the 10th morning I had a Facebook message from someone called Oliver Bacharach. And Oliver Bacharach said, hey, I'm the son of Burt Bacharach. And we see that you're coming to Los Angeles in a few days' time. My dad loves your album, and he would like to buy you dinner. So I on the 10th morning, I noticed this message, and so I was playing at the Troubadour on Sunset Boulevard, and I met in an Italian restaurant next to the Troubadour. I finished sound check and I came across, and there was Oliver Bacharach, and then there was Burt Bacharach, like unmistakably very elderly but super present, and we had dinner together. And I was able to tell him my fears and my struggles. And Burt Bacharach put his hand on my arm, and he said, that's why I'm here, to tell you it's good, your work is good, you don't need to struggle, your songs are good. And Burt Bacharach is objectively, if not the king of songs, he's a king of songs, you know?
Yeah.
And my ego, which was struggling with this process of validation or something, it had nowhere to go. Like I had just been told by Burt Bacharach my songs were good, so I had been praying for it. This message from Burt Bacharach it liberated me. Not entirely from the need of validation, that's a lifelong process. Yeah. But it helped a long way. Yeah.
No, and with the novena and everything, it sounded like you prayed for him, basically.
Our prayers are heard, you know.
Yeah. So today we are talking about this type of success. Today for you, what is success? What do you think it's the most important thing for you?
Yeah, success is less and less something from the world. And it's more about, in a way, obedience to God.
Give yourself.
Yeah, it's very close to staying true to myself.
Yes.
I like this actually. Like staying true to myself is totally the same thing. And another way to put it would be obedience to God. You know, like basically trusting that the one who creates this universe has not forgotten me and my life, and he has a plan for me. So success is relaxing into
I understand that you said it's not appreciate necessarily the creation, but the creator, right?
Yes. Yeah. This is an important distinction. That I used to worship the creation, the land or the rivers, or, you know, because I love them. And it's been an important kind of recalibration. It's a small change, but it's a big change. It's like, oh no, for me, the better posture is to worship the Creator, not the creation.
I believe that right now we were talking before about this excess of content and images and shows. Everything feels that is happening, everything everywhere all at once, you know? So how valuable is to hear you and to hear when people say the most important thing is staying true to myself, to be of value, to be of service, to be a person that stays true to himself. I think it's a natural process, and I hear it constantly on both of your albums. If I ask you today, Nick, if your music could leave one image, one feeling, or one truth behind for your children, what would you hope it would be?
If my music could leave one image, one feeling behind for my children,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Or your fans, your children?
Yeah. It's the connection to God. It's that our Heavenly Father is loving and He loves us so much. He's crazy about us, and we can rest in Him. We can rest in the finished work of our Creator.
When the dark harvest finished and you have your final product. Just to close with the last question, I always like to ask my guests, what was the last great thing you saw, you heard, you experienced? It could be a movie, it could be an album, it could be a painting, it could be anything that you want, so that people can understand you through what you like.
Yeah, many things even lately that have been quite inspired. I saw one battle after another, and I loved it. It made me love cinema again, one of those films.
And it's about a father.
Yeah, it is. There's deep father questions in the film. Yeah.
Trying to understand his role in life.
Yes, yeah. I love this film. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to end with a story that it's very funny, but we were talking about Mazunte and Oaxaca and everything. When they asked me to interview you, it was like something that fell out from the sky, because they basically told me it was a bit of your novena experience, because they told me if I knew you and if I wanted to interview you. So it was basically like a ray from God, from a higher being, from whatever. So today I just want to thank you and your openness, your music. I reconnected with your work through your tenderness and through your openness, and I wrote you something. It's a bit cheesy, but it's cool, man. Come on, nice. I'm not gonna make this weird.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But from the hypnotic circles of First Mind to the spiritual renewal of Dark Harvest Part 1 and Part 2, your music has always felt like an act of faith. A prayer made of strings, patterns, and unity. And perhaps that's what you've been telling us all along. That the harvest, dark or light, begins when we stop trying to control the soil, when we feel those patterns, when we surrender and accept that everlasting sun. So Nick Mulvey.
Oh, yeah. Cool, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Great to meet you, man.
No.
Thank you.
Welcome to Mexico, and we love you. Have the best time of your life in Thursday, and thank you everyone for this interview.
Nice one, man. Great to meet you.
Great to meet you, sir.